Hi and welcome to another video. Today we're going to concentrate on playing chords, 2, 3, 4, even 8 note chords, only using the aerophone, nothing else at all, just the internal sounds of the aerophone. In that introductory piece you just saw me play, I was actually using a voice that I call vocal chords, and I was layering the background pad sound first, using the vocal chord sound, and then I was adding in the solo over the top. So would be great for something like using a looping pedal, which is fantastic fun, by the way. If you haven't tried it, I highly recommend having a go at some looping. Okay, so let's have a look then. Let's go to basics. So what are we doing here? We are using the aerophone to provide more than one tone or pitch at the same time. And to begin with, let's look at something really straightforward. Let's see how we can produce a basic major chord on the aerophone using the app. Now these sounds, you've got to use the app, so you need to plug the app in to the aerophone by USB, and then have a look there and try and follow some of these instructions. So first thing to do is let's see if we can make a basic major chord or major triad. So let's say we just play a C on the aerophone. We'd like to make a major chord. We'd like the app and the aerophone to make a C and then an E and a G, keeping this nice and simple, okay? Now the aerophone really is going to deal in semitone steps, and if we want to make a major chord, we need a major third, which is 4 semitone steps up from the note we're playing, and then we need a perfect fifth, which is 7 semitones up from the note that we're playing. So let's see how we can make that sound work. Okay, so this is the sound that I've called brass major, and if you click on the top right hand corner where it says editor, and then click on the bottom right hand corner where it says advanced. Okay, now this is how the editor works. Across the top here, we're in the tabs at the top, we want the one that says part to begin with. So click on part, and then you'll see there are 4 parts there across the top. Now I've only got 3 of these switched on, and let me show you what I've done here. In part 1, which is switched on, from the list I've chosen the trombone sound. So that's the first one to try. Now that trombone sound, if you look under pitch here, that's not moved at all. I haven't messed around with that pitch. Now let's go on to part 2. Remember, this is where we want to put our major third sound. Okay, and on this one I've chosen from the list a trumpet sound, and underneath where it says pitch, here where it says coarse tune, I've made it be +4. +4 gives us a major third. If you wanted to do a minor chord, you would set that to +3. Okay, let's look at part 3. Now again here I chose from the list another trumpet sound. Again, you can choose whatever sound you want to on these, and underneath where it says pitch, I set the coarse tune to +7. Okay, so now what I've got is those 3 parts. Good for your medieval fanfares, for those medieval banquets, perhaps. Okay, so that's a very simple example of how we can use the different parts to create a 3-part chord. Now that's okay, it's a little bit restrictive, because what would happen if we wanted to do a major or minor chord in the same song, we would have to change the sound each time between them. Now, there is another way we can do it. So I'm going to show you another sound here. This sound I call saw chords. Okay, let's have a look what we've got here. Press Editor, press Advanced. Now, parts. I've only got 2 parts, okay? So how do we get those chords? How do we get 3 or 4 note chords out of just 2 parts? Well, first thing I've done here is I've set part 1 on a saw lead sound and I haven't changed the pitch at all. On part 2, I've actually moved it down an octave and done +7. So we're making the difference of a fifth there, depending on which way you think about that being inverted. So I've just got 2 parts, Okay, what's really useful on the Aerophone is we have this thumb lever. The thumb lever can move 4 directions, left and right, up and down. Now this is where we've got a tremendous amount of variation that we can use. You've seen in other videos that I've done where we've used that thumb lever to create different tone sounds or change the actual quality of the sound. But here what we're going to do, we're going to click on Control and we're going to look at the settings for left and right thumb. Okay, they're fairly near the bottom of that screen if you scroll down. Now, what I've done here is I've set the left movement of the thumb lever to do a +3. So originally we started off with that bare fifth sound. Now when we set the thumb to do a +3, it's going to take both of those notes and copy them up by, in this case, a minor third. So by moving my thumb over to the left, I can get a minor 7th chord. And you've guessed it, if I move the thumb over to the right, I can get a major 7th chord. So now I can switch between them quite quickly. I could even play something like a simple 1-6-2-5 pattern. We're going to start with major chord, of course. Now the 6 is a minor chord, so over to the left. Stay on the minor over to the left for the second chord, chord 2, because that's a minor 7th as well. And on chord 5, I'm going to cheat a bit and just leave it as an open 5th. So if I run that together, so I can use that to create a whole chord sequence without having to change any voices. What I did on mine as well, to put an extra chord in, I set the lever upwards to be a 4th. Now I can swap around and maybe get some of that kind of rotator effect. So I can do some really cool stuff by moving my thumb left, right, up and down as well. Just before we finish, let me show you that vocal chord sound that I was using at the beginning. So again, Editor and Advanced. Now here on the part page, let's have a look what we've got. All of these parts are set to the voice OO sound. Now, I'll let you see these settings here. On part 1, I haven't moved the sound at all in the pitch section there. I have actually done something with the key range. You'll hear how that comes out when I do a little demonstration of this soon. Part 2, I've panned it to the left slightly. I've set the coarse tune to a +5, okay? That actually is making a perfect fourth, okay, above the note that I'm playing. I've here now part 3, the pan is in the center, and I've done a coarse tune of a +10. You can experiment with all of these sounds. This is just a chordal sound that I found that I really enjoyed playing. And here, part 4, I've set the pan to the right, and actually I've dropped this down a long way. It's a -16, so it gives me quite a rich chord there. Here's what it's going to sound like. So what I get now is just one note, then maybe 2 notes, and the voices kind of get introduced as I come down the scale. Have a listen. And of course, we don't have to stop there. Let's check out what we did with the thumb lever on this one, because remember, we're dealing with 4-note chords now. Now, you can't do too many different versions with this one because the chords get pretty freaky, I suppose you might call it. But anyway, one that works really well is, what I've set here is the thumb to do a -5, to drop everything down by a perfect fourth. So now, when I add the thumb in, I get a whole set of 4 notes extra as well. Again, really great for setting up a loop, doing some chord stuff, and then maybe improvising over the top of that. Okay, so that's it. Hope you go ahead and try out some of these chords. Remember, you can go back over the video and check out some of those settings. Just pause the video and have a look at those settings. Thanks again for watching. As always, please comment down below, and if you've had some experiments that you've had some great chords come out of, please share them with us. Thank you for your kind comments, everybody that's been watching so far. If you are just here for the first time, please check out my other videos, subscribe, and thumbs up means a lot. Thanks again, see you next time.